Ready?
I am so ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Get a drink, hun. You can't go without your drink on these. Gives you energy to enjoy the song.
Placebo of the energy.
The placebo effect
it's
energy.
Not real. Minimal amount of caffeine.
Gotta keep you happy, so you keep wanting to react to this music with me.
I am happy, don't worry. Okay. I love doing this. I think it's so fun.
Awesome. I'm having a lot of fun, but I don't want to force you if you're...
No, I love it.
Cool.
I like listening to the new music, and I like... I'm ham for being in front of the camera. I love that.
Cool. That works.
I don't mind it so much.
Because I'm a little shy, so it's a good balance.
Good balance.
Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle and to our latest Jana Reacts video. And so I've got Jana here.
Hello.
And we are reacting to different prog songs through this show. My wife, I'm the big prog nerd and have been for a while, but my wife hasn't really listened to a lot of prog music until now. We're going through them through this channel and getting her real-time reaction to how she feels about this music.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's not her favorite. Sometimes she actually kind of likes it more than she might have expected.
Sometimes it's killer, and I'm like, totally jiving on it.
But there's always something interesting to discuss, I think.
Yeah.
So we listen to the song in full, and then afterwards we'll discuss how we felt about it, essentially. So, and usually there's songs I know and that she doesn't, but there's a whole bunch that we've put in our list that we shuffle through, and it's just whatever pops up is the one we go with. So,
all right, let's
shuffle. See
what
we got. Let's shuffle the song. Oh, wow, this is perfect. This is one I've been wanting to jump on for a while, so this works.
Thick as a Brick.
Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull. How do you feel? It's kind of an epic.
I've heard you talk about this one. I've heard people talk like this is like a famous or popular or highly ranked prog song.
Yeah. This is kind of one of the big like classic prog albums that I think a lot of people consider one of the best.
Okay.
So I thought this
who'd you say, Jethro Tull.
Jethro Tull, yeah. We've done one Jethro Tull song. We did Aqualung, like one of our very, very first.
Oh, that was like early on.
Yeah,
that was like the second video we did.
I think so. So we haven't really returned to them yet. So I've been hoping we'd shuffle into it. And
this is the one you've been listening to a lot of their music lately, huh?
Yeah, so it kind of works out perfect because they just released their new album, The Zealot Gene, which just came out like the last Friday in January, the 28th. So this past Friday from when we're filming this.
They just released a new album?
A new album, yeah.
So they're still active.
Yeah. I mean, this album's their first...
When is this album from?
This is from 1972. So they've been around a while, since like... I believe their first album was in...
like 50 years.
Like 68 or something.
Over 50 years.
So, but this new album was after a pretty long break. Like their previous album before that one was their Christmas album, which came out in 2003. So... kind of a return from a classic band, yeah.
This is the band that uses the flute?
Yes. A flute is kind of a big feature.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's this like scene of jazz flute and like he says Aqualung, I think, in a moment during it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I associate everything to movies.
Yeah. So but that's Ian Anderson is kind of the main front man, and he plays flute. It's kind of his main, like, singing and flute playing are his main parts.
There's flute in this one?
There is flute in this one, yeah.
Okay. And this is 22 minutes?
Yeah, so actually...
23 minutes.
This whole album, Thick as a Brick, is all one song, essentially. It's a concept, and it's all just one piece. But of course, because a side of vinyl only fits like 20 to 25 minutes, they broke it into the two parts, because you flip over and start side 2. After this.
So we're just doing...
So I thought we'd just do part 1 to start. That's what I put in our shuffle. Because I thought it'd be too much to do the full 45-minute piece. So we'll break it up. Maybe we'll shuffle into part 2 in a future date. But I think part 1 is kind of the best place to start.
23 minutes. Are there lyrics?
Yeah.
It's not all instrumental.
No, it's not instrumental. There's some lyrics. So I'll type it in and pull it up.
It's not very many lyrics.
Yeah.
For 23 minutes.
I wonder if this is not the best version. I don't know. I guess that's what there is.
That's all the lyrics there are. Well, that has a lot more.
Yeah, we'll go with this one, I guess.
Okay.
See, I think that's just like the very first, because I feel like the very first section of this was like kind of a single at the time. They pulled out like the first 5 minutes of it and considered that like the first single or whatever.
Really?
I think so, if I remember right.
It's like, here's 5 minutes
or at
of
least
our song.
like
Put it on the radio.
I don't know on the radio. I'm not sure because I wasn't around in those days, but. But I know on like compilation albums, like say they're doing the best of Jethro Tull album, you know, they can't include the full Thick as a Brick on it, obviously. So they cut like 5 minutes of it and like this is a representation of Thick as a Brick. So something like that. So are we ready?
We're ready. 23 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. Classic prog, right?
Classic prog, hon. This is a big one. So, let's try it.
All right, I'm ready. Oh, fun.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out. My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout.
That scared me.
I may make you feel, but I can't make you think.
Sorry.
Your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink.
Ew, gross.
So you ride yourselves over the fields, and you make all your animal deals, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
I like it.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd like it.
I like how it sounds. That's nice.
It's really nice. I love the sound, like the sound design of it.
In the tidal destruction, the moral malay, the elastic retreat strings the close of play. As the last wave uncovers the newfangled way, but your new shoes are worn at the heels, and your suntans rapidly peel, and your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick.
You hear the flute, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm in like a Renaissance fair or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so far away. I'm a bad dream that I just had today. And you shake your head. You said it's a shame. Spin me back down the years and the days of my youth. Draw the lace and black curtains and shut out the whole truth. Spin me down the long ages, let them sing the song. the painter, casting shadows on the water, as the sun plays on the infantry, returning from the sea. The doer and the thinker, no allowance for the other, as the failing light illuminates the mercenary's creed. A home fire burning, the kettle almost boiling, but the master of the house is far away. The forest is stamping, their warm breath clouding in the sharp and frosty morning of the day. And the poet lifts his pen while the soldier sheathes his sword. And the youngest of the family is moving with authority, building castles by the sea. He dares the tardy tide to watch them all aside.
I like this.
Yep.
Like the two different guitars like going back and forth. That's
Yeah,
cool.
you like that?
Playing off one another.
That's cool.
The builder of the castles renews the age-old purpose and contemplates the milking girl whose offer is his need. The young men of the household have all gone into service and are not to be expected for a year. The innocent young master, thoughts moving ever faster, has formed a plan to change the man he sees. And the poet sheets his pen Your bread and water's going cold. Your hair is short and neat. I'll judge you all and make them sure that no one judges me. You curl your toes in fun as you smile at everyone. You meet the stares, you're unaware that your doings aren't done. And you laugh most ruthlessly as you tell us what not to be. But how are we supposed to see where we should run? Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da. I see you shuffle in the courtroom with your rings upon your fingers and your downy little sideys and your silver buckle shoes. Playing at the hard case, you follow the example of the comic paper idol who lets you bend the rules.
fades out on this. There you go. And then you flip over the record and start part 2, which goes right into the next part.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Uh-huh.
I think you have some thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, starting at the end, I like that very last bit where it's like dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun, and then it was the way it was balanced in the headphones. Like some would be over here and some would be over here, and
Yeah.
so it would like go back and forth and like. Because I think right before that I thought, okay, it sounds like it's ending. Oh, no, it's not. And then that part, you know, the dun dun dun. And then, oh, okay, that's it. Oh, it's not ending either. And I did like that wind
trick
part.
you.
So it was all great.
Yeah. It's a good album to listen to in headphones, I think. There's a lot of like sonic treats, I think, on the headphones.
That's what I was thinking, is that it had a lot of like, it sounded like the sound was like you're right in the middle of them, and just they're playing from every angle, and so like you hear some things on this side, some things on this side. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I like how it sounds. I feel like especially even how it starts, that like acoustic guitar that's so it's so like crisp and clear and like really sounds great.
That's beautiful.
And the
At
flute
the very
is all
beginning,
really recorded well.
like the very beginning, like I guess you were talking about like the single part of it.
Yeah,
or
I think that first like 5 minutes they kind of pull out as like almost a single, or like what they use for a compilation of best Jethro Tull.
I think that was so beautiful, and I felt like I was like in a Renaissance fair, and it was just really like cool to listen to, and just really like really pleasant to my ear.
Yeah.
And so I think that was my favorite part, but there were so many other good parts to it.
Yeah.
It was really cool, like the organ in the middle.
Yeah, there's some great organ.
Yeah, a lot of great organ music.
Yeah,
like,
some great
like,
solos
that's so
that are
cool.
go crazy.
Yeah. And some guitar.
Yeah.
There was like 2 guitars. Maybe there were more than 2. I'm not sure. Guitar, like these guitars playing back and forth in the middle somewhere. There was like a. It was that was really neat.
All really good, huh?
Sometimes I wish I was more articulate.
No, it's cool. You know, me too, but you know, we come in with not like this expert knowledge of music.
Experts.
Yeah.
No.
So it's
we're
just
fans.
We're based on just what we're hearing. We don't really have the technical terms to describe.
Like we've got a little
stuff,
bit of music background. Like I did music in band and choir in high school and college, but like you know, that was 20 years ago. So
yeah.
Giving away my age. You know, so it's sometimes those musical terms will make their way back into my brain, and I'll be like, oh, this is a melodic ninth of, you know.
Yeah.
That's
terrible
example.
There's other channels that I think do it better, like the Daily Doug, you know. He's more the like expert of, he can tell you
that's a different kind of reaction.
We just come in as fans or music listeners. We appreciate listening. At least that's how I come in. I've listened to music for so long, and I have kind of, I think, hopefully valid opinions just from being such a big music fan for so many years and having heard so many different things.
Everybody gets to have whatever opinion they want about music, so it's a valid opinion, whatever you think about it. And so is yours out there. Whatever you think about music, it's valid, because everybody hears music differently and brings it into their lives in a different way, and everybody expresses it differently, and some things sound good and some things sound less good to you, and so it's up to you to decide that, and that's why you get to enjoy whatever music you like to enjoy. Sure. So but this one was really cool. It had a lot of like different bits to it.
Yeah, there's different parts and sections.
Yeah, and I don't know that I thought when it comes to the lyrics, I don't know that I was like
like
deciphering them
completely
as
following the
like the
meaning
first
and the story.
section it seemed like it was about a family because it talked about the oldest and the youngest. I did like that it talked about how like the poet picked up his pen and then the soldiers sheathed his sword.
Yeah.
And then like the next one it said the poet picked up his pen and the soldier raised his sword. I forget what he said, but he took out his sword.
Yeah.
And it was like opposite, and I'm like, oh, something's going down. But I didn't know like what was like
lifts his sword.
Yeah. And so I wasn't. It seemed like it was about a family that had like an oldest and a youngest and a poet and a soldier and like all these different things. But then I got lost towards the end, and so I just gave up and just tried to focus on the music, and the music was wonderful. So.
Yeah, because people in the comments will know way better. I'm sure we'll get comments about like what the story is behind the album. I know there's a big story behind it, and it's kind of almost like satire, I think, of some, I just don't know all the details. But to me, like, it's fun listening to the lyrics for kind of the cleverness and like the little, like kind of funny little humor in it.
Yeah,
and
there's
things
a
like
lot
that.
of like
little tricks. That's kind of what I listen for. Even though the whole story itself isn't like something I know very well, but yeah, between the music and kind of these clever, funny little phrases that I enjoy hearing in the lyrics, I think it's a really fun listen.
There was some fun things in there. It was great. Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite pieces, I think.
You were enjoying it.
Prog,
I could see. You're like.
It's so cool. Like, it sounds really great. It has a great blend of like some folky kind of elements, some like you said, almost that Renaissance kind of feel to it, with the instruments and the flute added especially. But it goes through so many sections. There's heavier rocking sections, but then parts that are more acoustic.
It kept startling me when it'd be like playing something nice and sweet, and then all of a sudden it was like bang! And
there's a lot of that, which I like at the beginning, like.
Yeah, it started out that way.
Yeah, and it fits the lyrics because he says, your deafness a shout. And then when he says shout, that's when it like kind of bursts. Like, I think that's kind of a cool touch with like working with the lyrics and the music. So
yeah,
I thought that was a cool touch. And there's little things like that, I think, throughout. So it's just very clever writing. And, I think Ian Anderson, who wrote these lyrics, is just really a clever lyricist and just really great. And so I've been listening to Jethro Tull music like almost constantly the past couple months because I'm planning my album rankings of their whole catalog, which I'm not very familiar with their whole catalog. This album I know really well as a classic and the couple albums kind of surrounding it, but their larger catalog was largely new to me, so it's been kind of fun. But I'll be getting more into that in my album rankings show. But
this is a fun one. I can see why it's a classic because it's got like so many different parts to it, and it sounded great. It was mixed great. It was great.
So how do you feel? We tend to talk a lot about like length of songs and like when things are too long, you lose your attention. You wish it was shorter. How'd you feel in regards to this one?
I still feel that way.
You still
I
feel
stand
that
by that opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
But I understand that they're telling an overarching story, but sometimes I will get lost in that, and I like in this one I wasn't following the lyrics towards the end because I just got lost somewhere in it, and so for me I think it doesn't work as well. Okay. So what I think that means for me is I prefer like the shorter songs, and I don't know if it is just because my attention span is lost after that, but I don't think that's it. I think that I just enjoy a shorter song. Okay. I think if I'm hearing, I want to hear like different and new things like I don't know. I just want to hear like advancement of the story. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Because,
no, it's okay.
Because this is supposed to be telling a story, but if I'm getting lost in it, then I can understand that I would be. Maybe this needs to be shorter. Okay. I don't know.
No, it's cool. I was just curious because that seems to be something we end up talking about a lot, especially on these lengthier pieces. But what's interesting about something like this is it feels like, to me, it's kind of like a book, but there are separate chapters. I mean, as we were going through the lyrics, there's different parts that are even within where it kind of switches to a new section that's kind of almost a new song, but it all flows together, so it's like the breaks between the songs isn't as obvious as like on an album where, you know, this is song 1, this is song 2, and it's very separated. So it's just kind of a different framework for an album than probably what you've been used to before, as someone who probably likes more of just the shorter songs that kind of are more compact and there's a clearer break between song to song, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that
I don't know.
I think that my perception of this is not necessarily logical or consistent. So
no, it's fine. I'm just always curious.
It
doesn't matter. It's, you know, it's all personal opinion. It's not.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way. It's just how you perceive the music and how you feel about it. You know.
Yeah, I liked all the different parts of the songs, but again, like sometimes I wonder, like, why don't you just make them separate songs?
Yeah,
like just call them different tracks.
Just call them different.
But that's me. Like I'm not gonna tell this fantastic group from 50 years ago. You guys really should have done it this way.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid. I'm not gonna do that because this is how they chose to do it, and I totally respect it. And so like if that's what I've kind of been learning about progressive music and these long epics is that like it's a longer story to tell, and I'm not. Like, that's the way you're choosing to tell the story. So why would I, like, criticize you or critique you or you know, tell your story, man. That's cool.
Cool. Okay. That's cool.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I prefer shorter songs, but that's okay.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it comes down to, like, how it, like, I don't know. I'm probably delving too deep into this, but, like, when it comes on, you know, these originally came out on record, on vinyl, and there's not as much as of a clear, like when you have it on CD or on streaming or something, it's clear what the divisions are between the different sections. But on vinyl, you know,
it can run into the next
It can run into the next song, and it's not as clear perhaps. So that could be part of it. Like if you see this track listing for like one of the more modern remakes of this album, it's instead of just part 1, part 2, it's divided into like 8 tracks that are more what the lengths of songs you might expect. So just, you know, interesting how they break it up in different. I mean, they still run in one to the next, like the same way, but
I would probably enjoy listening to it this way because then I can see progress. I think maybe that's what I need is that like I like to see, okay, that was 5 minutes and I've got 5 minutes down and now I'm definitely in the next section and I can hear how it's different or how I can hear how it's different, but I can also hear callbacks from the first song. So I don't know, maybe I just need it cut up that way just so I can see the progress of it. If it's one long thing, I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like it's not, to say never ending, like like sounds bad, but I don't mean it in a bad way. I just want to be able to see like where the end is so I can make a plan in my mind. I don't know. I like to plan things out, and maybe with these longer songs I can't necessarily plan things out. But seeing it cut down into 8 things, I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this. Like I could. That's no problem.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I wonder if it's more just like a frame of mind, like it's
That's
like
probably what it is.
Like 20 minutes to go of this, like, you know, you just like
what
feel like
that's
that's
gonna do for 20 minutes.
So much, and it's hard to imagine like how one song can stretch out that long. I almost feel that way with like sometimes with a really long movie. I feel like overwhelmed that this is like a 3-hour movie that's like never ending. But when it's like broken up into chapters or like this is a TV show that has like 40-minute segments, but it's essentially the same thing. Yeah. It breaks it down easier in my brain. Like it's structured better.
Yeah.
In more like digestible pieces.
Sometimes you're like, oh, a 3-hour movie. I don't want to watch that, but you will like binge watch the whole first season of something.
Yeah.
Like,
because for some reason, when it's broken into these like 1-hour episodes, my brain can handle that better. It's like, okay, that's a digestible piece of something.
Maybe
and so I
it's
think
like
music,
in my brain.
These
Maybe
epics are kind of the
is.
same thing in my mind. I think it's a similar.
Maybe we're finally identifying it.
I don't know.
This is kind of cool. I like it.
So
it's funny. We're funny. We're opposite that way because I feel like I could sit for a 3 or 4 hour movie and be just fine.
Yeah, when it comes to movies, we flip. When it comes to music, I'm the one. I could listen to a 1 hour long song and be cool. And you want these smaller size chunks. Where in a movie you could watch an epic length long movie and be cool, and I need these like shorter episodes. So I don't know. That's kind of funny that we have that opposite thing. I guess it's just what we grew up. Maybe you grew up watching movies more, and I grew up listening to long albums more.
That is accurate.
So it's just what we're used to, what we grew up with.
Well,
so,
cool.
All right. So
well,
we
that
probably
was a lively discussion.
yeah, we've talked way too long. But an epic song deserves an epic conversation, right?
It was great.
So,
I really loved it.
Yeah, awesome.
I did. I really loved it.
Really loved that track, yeah.
Yeah, there were like for all of its different parts, I liked all of it, and I felt like they all like matched together, and it was so good. Like
awesome.
all the different parts of it. There was one part that was it toward the end where it had like that old folksy guitar, like that Renaissance sounding guitar.
Yeah, it kind of comes back at the end.
It came back, and I'm like, that's really cool. And there was like another element where there was like the organ and the piano and the flute, like all going at one time. It was really
a lot of cool instrumental stuff, and just an amazing piece of music
coming at me from all the different directions in my headphones.
And maybe one day we'll have to continue the story with part 2. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see if it comes up in the shuffle.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, if you stuck around with us this long, this is kind of a lengthy one, but thank you guys for listening and experiencing the music with us. And hopefully you guys are enjoying whatever music you've got going out there. And check out the Zealot Gene by Jethro Tull, his newest album, and some of my upcoming videos. I'm not sure when they're coming out in relation to this one, but, have an album review I'm planning and those album rankings. So some shows to look forward to with Jethro Tull. So
yay.
This kind of worked out.
Yay! Hey, thank you to the Shuffle Gods.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much, and I guess we'll hopefully see you in another Jana Reacts.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy the music.
Bye.
Bye.